has also told us about the progress she has made so far in this as a STEM woman. Okay, so today we are honored to have an amazing speaker in the house, Miss Remi Kolawole. I hope I am pronouncing your name right, ma'am.
Yeah, that's perfect.
All right. Okay, so Miss Remi is a passionate woman who has a strong background. Sorry. Remi is a passionate woman who has a strong background, who has strong background in IT and has held positions as a software quality engineer for different enriched companies. Currently, she holds the distinguished position as a co-founder and chief executive officer at Solid Link Consulting Limited. Wow, that's beautiful. Yeah, her role as an CEO attests to her entrepreneurship spirit and exceptional leadership. She resides in the please, I don't know. Okay, so sorry for the break, please. Okay, so she resides in the vibrant city of Cork, Ireland. Remi shares her home with her cherished husband, Nivi, rather, who is not only her life partner, but also her dear friend. Yeah, wow, that's beautiful. Their household is enriched further by the presence of their 4 precious children, Joshua, Judah, and Jonah, and Japhet. Wow, that's beautiful. Those are beautiful names, you know. Yes, as well as their faithful and beloved dog, wow, Christine. Central to Remi's endeavors is her unwavering commitment to the value of freedom, fervent dedication to human development and social justice underscores her mission to uplift and advocate for those around her beyond her professional and community pursuits. Okay, Remi finds delight in the simple pleasures of life, reading, luxury works, forging meaningful connections, and embarking on enriching journeys through travels. Wow, that's beautiful. We've yes, ma. So thank you so much for honoring our call and coming on today's chat. Okay, so we're going straight to the discussion proper. And I hope you're ready for us, ma'am.
I am.
All right, that's beautiful. All right, so our first question is what is your field of study and what got you interested in it?
Thank you very much, Martina, and thanks for the introduction. Well done. Yeah, first of all, I must say thank you so much for having me. It's an honor to be able to speak young girls, especially in STEM. So thank you so much for the honor of having me here. Thank you. So my background is in IT.
Thank you too for the honor.
I studied computer science in Kwara State Polytechnic in Ilorin, and I have an higher national diploma from Kwara State Polytechnic in Ilorin. I've lived in Ireland for over 2 decades, and when I left Nigeria to come abroad, I also did a study here. I went further to study professionally software development and testing, and also project management.
Wow, that's beautiful to know. So what got you interested in this?
So when I finished secondary school, I didn't know what I was going to do. I had a very good result, an outstanding WAEC result, but I had no idea what I wanted to do with my life. So I was just kind of thinking, what is it that I want to do? Like everybody was saying, oh, you could study medicine, you could go to pharmacy, but those kind of things were not something that I'm interested in. So I said, maybe I'll do computer science. Then computer science was kind of new.
I can imagine.
Like people are just getting into it. And that's how I got into computer science.
Wow, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. So what inspired you? Do you have
Yeah, as a human being, my greatest inspiration is my father. My late father, Chief Uitinoye. Like, he is an outstanding man. And right from the time when I was young, we are 8 girls in my family. We're all girls. And I'm the 6th. So the way we were brought up is to believe in ourselves and to never think that we are less because we are girls. And my father did not only demonstrated this in the way he treated us, he also made sure to tell us this from time to time, just in case we didn't get it. So my father is my biggest inspiration. He's given me so many values, to be honest, to be truthful, integrity, to always stand up for what I believe. And he just didn't tell me these things. I saw him live his life in this way. And when it comes to the choice of career, my dad is a man that so much believes in the value of freedom. And like I've been given the opportunity to make my own choices. And yeah, so he remains my inspiration.
That's amazing. That's so interesting that your dad could actually be one who would be the one to inspire you to standing in for yourself, irrespective of you being a female. You know, in Africa, we have this mentality that a female child can provide anything, does not want it, yes. Let's use that word, does not want it.
Yeah.
You know, coming back in and going for STEM fields, you know, pursuing careers in STEM. You just hear a father or mother would tell the daughter, and you end up in the kitchen. Imagine saying, I can't waste my money on you. And I'm so impressed that your parents could actually be your role model here, to pushing you to achieving what you have actually achieved today.
Yes.
And that is really a crown.
Thank you. I remember when I finished just to share this small story. I remember when I finished secondary school and I had the option to go to the university and study microbiology, or to go to the Polytechnic and study computer science. And then my dad said to me, decide whatever you want to do, make your own choice. And that's what I did.
Wow, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Is like a difficult situation or challenges you have overcome in pursuing maybe a career in this field of STEM as a woman?
Sorry, can you say that again? You were breaking the.
All right. So sorry. I guess it should be network. I said, tell us about the difficult situations, perhaps challenges you have overcome in pursuing a career in the field of STEM as a woman, particularly in your field of work.
Thank you for that wonderful question. So the first challenge I had was when I got into school. When I started my study as a computer science student, I went to a college where I did not see a computer for the very first year that I was in school. Imagine someone studying computer science, but there was no computer in the school.
Imagine that. I could imagine that.
So that's how the challenge started. So we will write codes, and we will write our codes with hand. That's what we used to write code then. So we had no opportunity to even run the codes that we are writing because we have no access to a computer. So so that's the first challenge. Of course, I was able to overcome that. I did my best, and then I moved abroad. And the second challenge that I faced then is that because I moved from a supposedly third world to a Western country, then I have to prove myself that my degree is actually worth what it's worth. And sometimes we have to do more studies. So even before I'm able to get into the career as a computer scientist, I had to do some further courses. So it takes a bit of time for me to do other courses to get more qualification here before I can now actually start my career as a computer scientist. And I love testing. I started my career as a software development tester because it suits my perfectionistic traits. So I have the tendency to be a perfectionist. So the testing kind of suits that, because testing is about looking into what other people have done, making sure that things are perfect. Things needs to be perfect. So I hoped for that. And it's very interesting because I will find myself to be the only woman in the room many times. And I will not just be the only woman in the room, being the only Black woman in the room. So I'm the only Black person in the room, and I'm also a woman. So these challenges present themselves. But I think my background, I truly believe that I am no less because I'm a woman. So I know how to carry myself. And this is what I say: when you go into a room, you take your place in that room. And that's what I do. I take my place in the room.
Exactly.
I occupy, really, if I can do that use that word. So sometimes it's something that comes from us, because you're looking at yourself and said, oh, I'm the only woman in the room. But it shouldn't make any difference. But because of the stereotypes that exist,
it's all.
Yeah. So sometimes people assume that as a woman, you don't know what you're doing. So sometimes you really have to call people's attention to yourself. You have to call people's attention to your ideas to say, you know what, this is what I think. This is what I know. So those are the challenges.
Wow. It's really not been an easy one. I could imagine while I was in secondary school. I think I shared the story even earlier this morning. I had a section with some of my girls, and I was telling them, I said, while I was in school then, I was actually, we're just two females in our department in science, and then the rest of them were all men. And I could imagine the pressure. Guys will say, why are you people even here? You are just distracting us. You are here to distract us. What do you know? I could imagine them saying, what do you people really know that you want to come and show yourself here? Your mates are in the commercial department and the art. You did not go to that place where you belong, and you're coming to rub shoulders with us here, and and one thing we used to do then, we can fight, and at the end of the day, we just settle ourselves and move on. But the most important thing was that we actually had a target. We're not looking at the pressures from them, from our co-peers in schools. We're able to just forge ahead to pursue our careers. So it's really important. It was really important for you to share with us this challenge you've also encountered. Yeah, I know it's not been an easy one at all. Yeah. All right. So what experiences from your challenge have prepared you to becoming a software quality engineer and an IT professional?
So I've always believed that whatever challenges that one encounter in life can overcome it. So like life itself is full of challenges. It's the way life is designed, and there's nothing anyone can do about it. But whenever there is a challenge, I sit down, I think about the challenge long enough. I look at ways to tackle whatever issue that needs to be tackled. I separate them into what I can control and what I can't control. So the ones that I can control, I take actions. Like I'm an action person, I'm always taking actions. I'm always thinking of, so what can I do? What's the next thing that I can do? What can I do in this? Who can help me with this? So I do that. But the ones that I can't control, I put my hand up. I believe in God. I'm a strong believer in God. I said, this one is beyond my control. There's nothing I can do about it. Let it go. And letting it go does not mean that I stop thinking about it. Whenever it comes up again, I just give it back to God. Whenever it comes back, I give it back. And in the process of doing that, I find that some situations are not meant to go away. They will stay. Then I understand that I need to have the courage to accept some issues and some challenges, that this is what it is. This is how it's going to be. I just need to accept it.
Wow. That's amazing. So good to learn about that. Okay, so our next question is, what social problem do you think is most urgently needs maybe to be solved when we think about girls in STEM?
Thank you. The social problem that I believe needs to be solved is this cultural and institutional idea that women are less than men. So this is not just something that happens in STEM. It's not something that happens in Nigeria only or in Africa. It's a world problem. And I think that's the biggest problem that needs to be solved. Like, we need to make sure that girls actually know the truth, that there is nothing, absolutely nothing that makes them less than men. So the mindset needs to shift.
Wow, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Thank you so much for that. I think after identifying these, we have to look for a way to see how we can resolve such issues urgently. Yes. All right. So now what do you think, what do you constantly see as a challenge? Maybe that has been underlined as a challenge, or assumptions, things that you have been like that would have been like setbacks towards maybe your career or ambition as a woman?
For me, I haven't been like, as a woman, I've had to face the reality that as a mother, I can't have it all. So I know some people believe you can have it all, but I personally personally don't believe that I can have it all. And well, my experience is that I cannot have it all. So if I have to be a good mother, a good friend, and also have a career, then I may not be able to go as far as people who don't have the responsibility of being a parent. So for me, I've had to put my career on hold from time to time so that I can look after my children. I don't consider that a challenge. I consider it that it is part of who I am, part of what I am. Like if I didn't have to look after my children, maybe I could have more times to do more things in terms of career and all of that. But it's a decision that I have made personally, and that if I have to have a balanced life, then I may not be able to go as fast and as far as some maybe other people who don't have the same, who are not in the same family situation as me, as a computer scientist or as a software engineer. So that's something that I accepted throughout the course of my career. And I have a lot of peace about it. And I don't consider it a challenge at all.
Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. Okay, are there skills required to becoming a software quality engineer and maybe an IT professional? If there are any, could you share with us, please?
Yes. So I think the biggest skills that I will recommend is confidence. People need, people who wants to go into any field, really, but especially in a field like IT, you need to have confidence. You need to believe in yourself. You need to be resilient, and need to have the capacity to try if needs be. So those are those are the life skills that I think we need to be able to work in STEM. Also, when it comes to the professional skills, so you need to be able to understand computer science, really. So it's about going for the study. It's about studying computer science or maybe studying software engineering, whatever people want to study. But I want to state that the focus of IT is not just about computers and studying things like computer science or software development. There is so many areas in IT that people can work in, because I find that sometimes it's not everybody who have the skills to be able to write codes or to be able to write to develop software, and this kind of discourage people. So it's either it's for you or it's not for you. I don't believe it's everybody who have to be software developers or people who understand codes. But if you're interested in IT, you can study other areas like business analysis, project management. So there are different areas. And if you think about IT as a whole, it also involves a lot of people. You know, in IT companies, they have HR consultants. There are different roles that we can go into. So the most important thing also is people to understand and know what they love to do. I think it's very important. If people find themselves loving what they're doing, they will go further than if they're just doing it just for the money. And I understand that the money is important. People need to build their career around something that will sustain them as humans. This is understandable. But at the same time, like I say to my children, there's money everywhere, in everything.
Exactly.
If you love it enough and you look at it enough, you will find a way to make money from it.
Oh, that's amazing. That's a key word for girls. So, okay, when you were a student, did you feel any peer pressure, especially because you're a woman? What advice would you give to young girls to helping them overcome these challenges or obstacles and standing barriers?
Yeah, as a woman or a young woman studying computer science, I didn't feel any gender pressure at all. I remember there were so many ladies in my class when I was studying. So I think throughout the course of my study, I did not have that issue at all. I suppose those kind of issues will usually come up during, the time when you start to work. Especially for me, it came up the time when I started to work, and I found myself in an environment that in the whole office, there's only 2 women who are in the software development department. Yeah. But while I was in school, we have a good number of people, and I didn't even think about it twice that it's a thing about whether you are a male or a female in my class then.
Wow, that's beautiful. So what advice would you give to girls maybe who are actually currently facing some of these obstacles and standing barriers? And how can they overcome this?
My advice to girls is to always believe in themselves. Believe in yourself, believe in your abilities. Know yourself. It's very important for us as humans to know who we are. What are the things that make us happy? What are the things that triggers us? What are the things that make us want to wake up every day? I will advise people to women to embark on the journey of self-discovery. So we know who we are, we understand what our strengths and our weaknesses are, then we can sit and say, okay, this is who I am. We can then fall in love with that person that we are. It's very important for us to love ourselves because it all starts from us. It all starts from us. There's so many things that we can't control, but the only one thing that we can control is ourselves and the way we deal with it. Yes, our mind, we have control over that. We have control over our action. So I say, get hold of yourself. Be in control of yourself. That's my advice to girls. Believe that whatever the culture or the society looks like, as a woman, you can still survive on your own. Do not depend on anyone else for your survival. Make sure that your survivor is based on you and you only.
And you alone.
Because you are, yes, I want all girls to know that every single person is capable of looking after themselves by themselves.
That's true.
We want other people to support us. We want other people to love us. We want other people to accept us. We want other people to share our lives with. But the truth, the fundamental truth is that you can actually look after yourself by yourself.
So
I would love for women to get away from peer pressures, to always be able to say, I'm a unique person and it's okay to be unique. It's okay to be different. It's okay not to think like everybody else. And we shouldn't go for popularity. We should always search on the inside when we are making decisions. Keep going. If you are convinced that what you're doing is what you need to be doing, just keep going. So don't let any obstacle or challenges stop you. And I will also say, ask for help. Ask for help. And when I mean ask for help, I'm not talking about only financial help. Ask people for advice. If you need to say, how do I go about this? Ask people that you think they know more, or they've walked the road that you want to walk, or that you are walking. ask them for advice, and then make connections, connect with people. Genuine connection, like don't always connect with people based on the fact that, oh, maybe they can do this for me, maybe they can do that for it. Let your connections, let it be genuine, let it be let it be authentic. Then let things happen organically.
Wow, that's beautiful. Thank you so much for that beautiful advice, ma'am. I believe our girls are taking note of that. I've actually taken one keyword from your advice today. You can discover yourself by yourself. You don't need somebody to help you discover who you really are. So you know yourself better than any other person. And then embarking on a journey of what self-discovery. It's very, very important. It's important. And this is really key. So girls, take note of that. It's important for you. All right. Another thing is how can we increase girls or young women participation in STEM?
Like your organization is doing an amazing work, and I'm really grateful and thankful to you for doing this, because we need more people in the world to do the thing that you are doing. Thank you so much. So like you're doing a great work. This is one of the ways that we can create awareness. And, you know, showcasing women who are in IT is a wonderful thing, because sometimes when people see other people like them, they say, oh, if she can do it, I can also
do it too.
So this kind of event is very good for showing girls that they can really be in IT. And again, it goes back to the point of women knowing that there is nothing that is reserved for men in the world. The world is for everyone. And everyone can be anything they want to be. So like not all girls will like STEM. So girls who like STEM, there's nothing that should stop them from doing STEM. They need to know that it's not a man's world. The universe is for everyone. And sometimes it's the things that we believe about ourselves that determine what happens to us. Other people might have an opinion about us, but their opinion is only an opinion. So girls who want to go into STEM should believe that in themselves and go ahead and just do it.
Wow. That's beautiful. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much. All right. And are there maybe any scholarships and other opportunities for girls or young women who are pursuing careers in STEM?
I'm not knowledgeable in that area of scholarship and all of that, even though my own company, what we do is we facilitate cross-cultural education, and we also connect people with global opportunities. But I'm not too aware of any kind of scholarship. I know that in some countries, they actually, in order to encourage girls to go into IT, there are special scholarships for that, but I wouldn't be aware of any such.
Wow, that's beautiful, ma'am. That's beautiful. All right, so what job or career opportunities are there for girls who are aspiring or want to become a software quality engineer or an IT professional like you?
Oh, it's abundant. Like there's so many things that people can do. Like even myself, I can't keep up, to be honest with you. So one thing that we need to note is that do you know where the world is going now? Is going towards the area of artificial intelligence. Yes, and robotics. So I'm of the opinion that in the next 20 to 30 years, all of us will need to everybody needs to be able to use a computer. And all of us we need to have some kind of knowledge about codes and software, even if it's just a little bit. Yeah, so like everyone needs to be versatile. Knowledge is power. We need to keep up on what is going on in the world because it keeps changing. We need to be conversant with the conversation that is going on about artificial intelligence.
That's beautiful, ma'am. All right, so what would you consider to be your greatest achievement as a woman in STEM?
I think my greatest achievement is being able to come to, in STEM, is being able to come all the way from Nigeria to live in Ireland and to have that background that I described to you of where we didn't even have a computer when I started computer science, and to be able to sit in the room with people who have all the privileges and all the institutional backup that they need, and be able to function, and not only function, and to be able to excel.
Wow, that's beautiful. That's really a beautiful one. That's a beautiful one. Okay, now I'm so glad you're actually from Nigeria. And then I believe before you went out of the country, you were able to, we have some current issues, current crises, in the country and in various states in Nigeria. So I want us to know what's in Nigeria. Nigeria is currently facing various insecurity globally. What is your contribution to solving this problem in your field as a software quality engineer and an IT professional?
Like personally, I think my contribution would be in terms of giving information to people about what I know, what I understand, and just because at the moment I'm not coding anymore. I don't code anymore. I'm now a CEO of a company. But through our company, we are always sure to speak out. Whenever we have the opportunity to say something, we always say it when it comes to what is going on in Nigeria. So I will always lend my voice to the truth. I suppose that's the role that I play in that area. And I also encourage, when I have the opportunity, and challenge leadership at the same time. Because the security problem in Nigeria is a problem of bad leadership. It's not a nice, the insecurity problem is not in isolation. It's like every other problem that we have, which goes back to bad leadership. And I think as someone who works closely, our company works closely with young people who wants to study abroad, who are studying abroad. We always try to talk to them, and we teach them about leadership and good leadership. Because the only way that we can solve the insecurity problem is when we have leadership, good leadership in place, who will actually do what exactly needed to be done. Because the problem is not rocket science, it can be solved. We just need leaders who are sensitive enough to the need of their people, who wants to support their people, who wants to help their people for us to be able to solve the problem. So my role is to talk to young people about leadership to make them see how we cannot afford to live for ourselves. We have to think about everyone around us and our community.
Wow, that's beautiful. So now, in a global context, what do you think is a possible solution to this crisis globally now?
Do you mean the insecurity?
Insecurity globally.
So, like, sadly, even today there was an incident in Ireland of stabbing. My thoughts are with the family of people that are affected. I think we need to focus on well-being. And focusing on well-being, I mean the mental health of our people needs to be a priority for us. Because insecurity stems from a couple of things. Poverty plays a role in this. Mental health also play a role in insecurity globally. So I think the leadership again, and leadership is not just those who are in the high up government. Like in every institution, there are leaders, even in families, like we have leaders in families as well. So I think we need to focus on poverty eradication. We also need to focus on looking after the mental health of people in the society.
Wow, that's beautiful. Thank you so much for that. Thank you so much. We're joining to a conclusion, and I don't know, those joining from the room, do you have a question before we ask our last question here? Do you have any question, please? Hello, Ronke and Star. Are you still with us in the room? Do you have a question? Perhaps while we await any audience question, we will take in our last question here. Our last question is, during your studies, what did you find enticing, or what enticing program are there that captured your interest in pursuing a career in STEM? And if they are, what has been the impact? What has been the possible impact of this practice? Yeah.
So diligence is key. You have to be diligent, and resilience is one that I think is very important. So like resilience is very, very important. You have to be resilient.
That's great. That's beautiful.
Life is
all right. So personally, wow. Sorry, go ahead.
You go ahead. You were about to say something.
Networks
I'll go after you.
Having some breakdowns.
Right. So, like, we have to be resilient.
All right. Thank you so much.
Can you hear me? All right. Yes. Yeah. So I think resilience will help a lot in whatever we are doing, because no matter what it is, there will always be challenges. There will always be challenges. So the ability to say, despite the challenges, I'm going to keep going. I'm going to do what needs to be done. I'm going to be diligent at it. And I am going to be disciplined. Self-discipline is also very important.
All right, ma'am. Thank you so much. I guess we're seeing a question typing, but unfortunately she's been locked out. Our advice we'll have more questions from our girls after this, the show. We'll be communicating them back to you. to attend to them. All right, so I think we have one personal question we would like to ask. How is the background in IT? Are you really enjoying it? As in being a software quality engineer, do you really have time for your family? Are you able to balance this whole thing?
Yeah, I think I said that the other time about knowing that I may not be able to have it all. So I've been able to, like, what I've done in all my career is that I've always tried to find a balance between my career and the other things that I love doing. It's just not my family. I love to volunteer in the community. I like to support my community. So I balance my time.
Wow,
I balance my time.
beautiful.
So because I balance my time, it makes everything
Easier for you.
a little bit easier. Life is not easy in general. It's not designed to be easy. It's not meant to be easy. But I've been able to kind of manage my life in a way that I know that I've been able to design my life in my mind, and it's been able to work out for me because I understand that I have to find balance between work and family and friends and supporting my community, which is very important to me. So I think I have a good balance, and I'm very contented. Yeah,
With that.
I think
That's beautiful.
because it's about being content. So I'm very contented with
Good.
what I've been able to achieve so far.
That's beautiful. Okay, so I think we just have one question on the chat. The question says, what is your advice for people who don't have money to pursue a tech career, as learning in the field is getting expensive? And how did you balance career and your home? I think we've talked about balancing career and your home. Now, what is your advice for people who don't have money to pursue a career in tech? As learning, we know, is getting expensive.
So there are two ways to look at career in tech. You can go to a college and pay to get a degree. Also, you can learn things hands-on, practical aspects of IT. Say, for example, let's say you want to be a software developer. You can decide to go to college and study, and then the school, they'll have a curriculum, they'll teach you all the programming language and all the other stuff. On the other hand, you can teach yourself to some programming languages. So the question I will ask is, if you have data, there are wealth of information for free. And I mean, to 0%, you pay nothing on the internet. So, rather than sometimes using our time to look up all this TikTok, don't get me wrong, I look TikTok up all the time. There's a place for that in our life. We have to look at all the Instagram story and all of that. It's part of our existence. However, if we can afford to do that, then we can afford to go online and look for free online courses that we can do to start building up our skills in IT. Then I would say, if somebody doesn't have money today, if they can have money tomorrow. So if you don't have money, have a plan that this is what I want to do, and this is what I need to do to be able to do this. When I first came to Europe, my first job was not in IT. My first job was actually cleaning. I couldn't do that for a long time because I have allergies with dust. So that's not something that I was able to do for a very long time for that reason. I have worked in a factory before. I've worked in telesales before. So life is a journey, and we have to start from where we are and see this is where we know the start point, we know the end point, but in between, we have to start doing what it takes for us to get to where we are going. So for somebody who wants to go into IT, they don't have money today, they can make a plan and say, in the next 5 years, this is where I want to be. This is what I need to be doing today to be able to get to where I am going.
Wow, that's so inspirational. Thank you so much for that advice. And I believe our girls have learned from that. In the absence of further questions, we'd like to also let you know that we'll be having a boot camp soon, coding section. So we'd like to know if you would be available to take some of our girls on the coding too. If that would be fine with you.
I wouldn't be someone who would be teaching coding now. That wouldn't be my area of, interest or an expertise. But I'm sure that there's so much that I can work with you guys on with the girls. And I will look forward to talking to you again. We sit down, we say, okay, how can we work together to be able to support the girls? Definitely. Right. So there's so many things we can talk about.
Wow, that's beautiful. Thank you so much, ma'am. Okay, so as we wrap up the section, we just want us to know that STEM is important, just like our mentor said. I think I mentioned earlier that this interaction on today's talk show has been really inspiring. Yeah, I've learned a lot from it. And discovery myself. It's one keyword I've taken, like in this journey. You need to really run for it, to embark on your self-discovery first, and you don't need anybody to do that for you as a girl. So here are also our focus areas in at age. We have girls' education, we have young women's governance and leadership. We have finance and leadership. We have child marriage prevention. Just of recent, we just concluded, we're still on the program, a gender transformative approach to ending child marriage. We had a section today on HIV for girls, to ending HIV transmissions and the rest of them, for them to stay safe from it and prevent themselves from unintended pregnancies and the rest of them that will cause them to drop out of school or being maybe sent out of school, or kind of, having to live with stigmas and the rest of the discriminations from your peers and the rest of them. And then one more important thing we do is good health and well-being for our girls. So it's young women and girls is so much important. So let's get to it. So by tomorrow, we'll be starting a section on 16 days of activity, and it will be starting tomorrow on this falls under our Age Cares program. So we are encouraging every one of you to know that you, as young women and as girls, you have a voice, you have right to yourself, you have right to your body. No man has the right to molest you, to beat you up, to bully you. You have all full equal rights, same as boys. So on the section we'll be starting tomorrow on our movement, we'll be starting with the street walk. So staying within, you can also join us on the section on the street walk, and also connect with us on the 9th of December on the summit to share your story as a woman. We wanted to know one thing, that you being a survivor of gender-based violence makes you a winner, because, and then automatically you sharing your story, you've become a role model to others, and those who are listening will learn from you, and also will be able to lend their own voices to others who might fall victim of same circumstances. So it's really important that we observe this, and feel free to share. Actually, we have gender advocates in the house. You can always reach out to us on our hotlines to speak with any of them in case you have such issues. And also, basically, you see, the STEM Girls Initiative has a mission to encourage and promote participation of young women and girls in STEM fields. And just like you've seen on the screen, you can connect with us. You can share your story as a woman in STEM. And also, we have a lot more for our girls. Can become a STEM Girls personnel. You want to join the school club, can always reach out to us to join as one of the girls, can become a mentor, a volunteer, a partner or friend, a donor, or an ambassador for STEM Girls. All right, so we encourage you to stay with us and then stay connected with us and to keep learning more from our inspiring women in STEM. Yeah, so we'll see you same time next week. Yeah, next week Friday. Yeah, bye. Thank you so much, ma'am, for honoring our invitation. Yes, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you very much for having me. Thank you. Have a nice day.
Yes, ma'am. And you too. Thank you. Bye.